was teaching a large class and I was approached by a student via email who said, "I come from a very wealthy background. Through your class, I got to thinking about people," in her words, "less fortunate than I." And I decided what I would like to do would be to go abroad on a service trip, and we need a chaperone. But this was a unique request, and what was unique about this was that the students wanted to do something for someone else. So that was really an offer, if you will, that I couldn't turn down. And I said I'd love to go. So I went. The advantages were many, and I'll be glad to talk about those. And the disadvantages were few. I suppose two disadvantages that come to mind is, number one, that it's a significant chunk of time during your other when you'd otherwise be doing a vacation, but the payoff is worth it. The second, of course, is perhaps some kind of financial disadvantage, and what I was able to do with this group was to have them pay half and I paid half. So I paid about $750, they paid about $750, but it was money well spent. And I would go again. As a matter of fact, the students have come back and said, "Do you want to go again in May?" And that was a little bit too soon. We've got some school commitments, but I'm thinking about perhaps even going again next January.
But I chaperone one group per year. That's what I have done in the past. There were international trips. I have done 3 trips during the course of the last 3 years. The exciting part about each one of the trip is that they are very well student organized and student run trips. So I really don't have, I certainly can offer students some input, but they really, because they're so well organized, they don't really expect me to be heavily involved. They just want to be, they really enjoy the idea of me being one of the students that I'm on a trip. I just see that I can be also serve as a mentor to the students and help the students and take that information back to my office, to the classroom, and inspire the students to partake in international trips. They are service learning trips that are really beneficial for them in many ways. I know what my expectations are in terms of the university officials asking me as a chaperone. There is a specific list that outlines the chaperone's responsibilities, so I really abide by their rule.
The Global Medical Brigades at BU is probably one of the best organized groups. What they do is they have an e-board, an elected board, that's a president, vice president, treasurer, and secretary, and they organize the whole entire trip. The biggest challenge we had on the way was last time we were delayed at Logan because of a mechanical error. So we missed the one and only flight that goes from Atlanta to Tegucigalpa. There were 40 of us on this plane, and everything was booked for the next 5 or 6 days, so it was either we get down there some way or we don't go. They convinced Delta to not only get a bigger plane, but to fly into another airport where we can all land, and then we take an 8-hour bus ride. Every single one of them were just excited to be there. They wanted the experience of being in a third world country. They wanted to see the healthcare system or what it was that happens in Honduras, and really wanted to make a difference. And I think that sums up how I view these students. They'll take the knocks, but they'll keep on going. They needed a chaperone each semester, and so since then I've gone 7 or 8 more times. As I tell them each time we go, I'm just another brigader. I'm another person. If they're counting pills, I will sit there and count out medications so we can hand them out the next day. If they need help unloading the truck, I'll unload the truck. If it wasn't a great experience, I wouldn't keep doing it. You can really make those connections that last a lifetime.